things like they used to. Surely our parents or grandparents have said this at some time, and they are absolutely right. That brings us to the subject of planned obsolescence, which means that companies are intentionally manufacturing a product to break prematurely. Some people even said that this should be illegal. It all started in the 20s when Philips and General Electric agreed to reduce the lifespan of bulbs on purpose. Then other industries also began to do this with their products. So the quicker a product breaks, the sooner people will have to replace it. It's always about money. But the problem is there is currently zero legislation on planned obsolescence. Manufacturers are not only making their products obsolete, but their parts too. And on top of that, they make their parts expensive and difficult to replace, that you may as well go buy a new appliance. There are three examples we can highlight. First one, by default, when something is more expensive to repair than buying a new one. 2. Incompatibility. Each update worsens the performance of your device. The perfect example is Apple with the new update iOS 16 because not every iPhone supports it. Even iPhone 6 is not compatibility since iOS 13. And for those old iPhones, some of the apps won't open because the iOS is so far behind. 3. Psychological. When they make you think that the products you are using are old or outdated. But what can we do as consumers to avoid that? We can recycle our appliances rather than throwing them away or try to fix them before replacing it. When talking about clothes, we can buy second-hand clothes and avoid fast fashion. When talking about the car industry, we can see that the manufacturers have been using the planned obsolescence by stopping to produce essential parts that should be available for a long time for old cars because they want to make you think that it's easier and maybe cheaper to buy a whole new car than keep hunting for parts for your old one. We can say that the car you bought last year isn't obsolete just because this year's model has expensive looking LED headlights, but they are sending you a signal that your car is old, and for sure it still will work for a certain period of time, but later or sooner it will be outdated. However, planned obsolescence in cars doesn't mean that your car is designed to fail or that it's all bad. It just means that it's undesirable compared to the last one models. It's not a secret that plenty of car parts have a certain durability that at one point should be replaced. And that's how they manipulate the consumer by selling you the idea of the constant restyling and, as I said before, also the making of spare parts rare. The main victim of this dynamic of planned obsolescence is the environment and obviously our economy, because the more we buy, the less our money lasts. But to be honest, this is how the current economy moves. So the best we can do is consume less or more wisely.